On the night of May 3, 2006, Armavia Flight 967 prepared to depart from Yerevan, Armenia, bound for Sochi, Russia. The aircraft, an Airbus A320 named Mesrop Mashtats, carried 113 people, 105 passengers and 8 crew. It was a short international flight over the Black Sea, expected to take just an hour. At the controls were Captain Grigor Grigoran, 40, and First Officer Armin Daftian, 29. Both were well-trained and licensed, though they were flying late at night after a little rest. The weather at departure was good, and Sochi's forecast initially showed acceptable conditions for landing. The Airbus took off at 20:47 UTC and climbed smoothly. About 30 minutes later, as it neared Sochi, controllers reported that the weather was worsening, clouds lowering and rain intensifying. The crew briefly decided to return to Yerevan, but changed their minds when visibility seemed to improve. That decision sealed their fate. At 2000 local time, Flight 967 began descending toward runway 06. The tower reported visibility of 4,000 meters and a 190-meter cloud ceiling, still safe for approach. The crew lined up on the glide slope, landing gear and flaps extended. They were cleared to land. Moments later, however, the ceiling dropped further, and the controller instructed the pilots to abort the landing and climb to 600 meters. Frustrated and tired, Captain Grigoran disconnected the autopilot to fly manually. The aircraft began to climb, but the flaps and landing gear remained extended, increasing drag. The speed dropped dangerously low, triggering the speed warning. Under stress, the pilots failed to respond properly. In the dark, over the sea, with no visible horizon, both pilots became disoriented, a condition called somogravitic illusion, where acceleration feels like a steep climb.
Something's wrong.
Believing the plane's nose was too high, the captain pushed forward on his control stick, unknowingly sending the aircraft downward. The first officer tried to correct by pulling back, but he didn't press the priority button, meaning both pilots' commands canceled each other out. Alarm sounded, terrain, pull up. But the cockpit was filled with confusion and panic. For the next 40 seconds, the Airbus fell rapidly toward the sea. The captain's continued nose-down and right bank inputs caused the aircraft to roll steeply. The first officer shouted to level off, but it was too late. At 22:13, Flight 967 crashed into the Black Sea at 285 knots, killing everyone instantly. Recovery teams found only debris and body fragments scattered across the water. The flight recorders later revealed the pilot's stress, exhaustion, and miscommunication in the final moments. Investigators concluded that the crash was a controlled flight into terrain, caused by pilot disorientation, fatigue, and poor teamwork. Though the aircraft was mechanically sound, the human factors, confusion, emotion, and loss of spatial awareness, led to the disaster. Armavia Flight 967 remains a tragic reminder of how quickly a routine flight can turn catastrophic, not because of machinery, but because of the fragile human mind at 10,000 feet.